Hi, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is Pastor to Pastor. This is a very important piece that we're going to do today. Maybe you are a pastor who has been hurt by the very people that you serve. I want to give you the most practical piece of advice that I can. Don't let your hurt rule the way that you see the church world. I cannot tell you how many conversations I've had with hurt pastors. They've been wronged. They've been wrongfully accused. They've been hurt. The very people that they have trusted have betrayed them. And what they do is immediately internalize it. And then they begin to react. What you need to do as a pastor is when you've been hurt, forgive immediately. This is the most practical piece of advice that I can give. Yes, I've been through the church wars. Many, many times I've been betrayed. Many, many times I've been hurt. But in every situation, I have chosen to forgive. It is the most difficult thing that you can possibly do. They've hurt your family. They've hurt your spouse. They've hurt you. But what you need to do is you need to forgive and understand that this comes with the territory. You may have thought to yourself, well, they can't do this to me. I am serving them. I'm pouring everything into this church. Don't they know what I've sacrificed? No, they don't know what you've sacrificed. And even if they do know, many do not care. You have to understand that whether you like it or not, the church can be a self-absorbed entity. Not everyone's going to like you. And some are knowingly going to hurt you, and some are unknowingly going to hurt you. But your reaction must always be the reaction of Christ. And that is say, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. You see, sheep don't know always what's best for them. They don't know that you're helping them. Maybe you are correcting them. Maybe you've had to play the part of the heavy and had to rebuke someone. And they've bitten you. They've turned on you. Or maybe they had a misconception about you and they turned on you. They said wrong things. Maybe someone has actually been maligning and slandering your name. But you need to understand something. You need to walk in forgiveness and let that thing go immediately. Remember, it doesn't matter what they do to you that's important. It's what you do to them. You have to get up the following morning and you have to say, God, it's another day. And I'm going to walk in forgiveness and love. There are some dark and deep times as pastors. I'm not going to malign. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? It does happen. But when you choose to trust God, when you choose to walk in forgiveness, when you choose to release that hurt to God, when you say, God, I don't understand what's going on. Folks, I've had times in my ministry where, certain situations have gone on for months. I prayed over the situation. God, I want to say something. I want to do something. And God says, no, let me take care of it. And you know what? God does take care of it. There are times where we have to follow the biblical model, and that is go talk to the person. And sometimes we have to bring people into that situation, and sometimes we have to bring that situation before the leadership team. And sometimes we also have to expel the person from the church. That happens. But in all of this, you have to walk with integrity. You have to walk with forgiveness. Because what can happen is you can come across heavy-handed. You can become across as a bully. And that's not going to help you. You need to walk with wisdom. And let me say this to those pastors who right now are sitting outside the ministry. You were hurt and you left the ministry. Let God heal you. It happened to me one time where I was hurt in a situation and I took a sabbatical. And I remember how that I talked to everybody about what had happened to me. I told everybody what had happened to me, and I began to realize one day that I was bitter and I was hurt. And I remember sitting on the deck with a fellow pastor, because what happens is misery loves company. And so I found these fellow pastors who had been hurt, and we were, complaining about our lot. And this guy that day had was complaining about his lot for about the fifth or sixth time, and I sat there and I began to listen to myself. I had heard myself say the very same things. And I thought, no more. I'm not living at that address anymore. I'm not going to live in the world of betrayal. I'm not going to live in the world of complaining. I'm not going to live in the world of woe is me, I am undone, I'm going to eat worms and die. It was that moment that God set me free. It was in that moment that God showed me what I had become. I've never been there. Yes, I've been hurt over the years. We all do as pastors. But when we choose to walk the path of forgiveness, God can heal there, extract that root of bitterness, and set us free. Live in forgiveness and live with the knowledge that you are above the circumstances. Yes, you will get hurt. You're not immune from it. But when you choose to forgive and say, I'm hurt right now, but I'm not going to stay hurt. And God's going to give me the grace, and God's going to give me the ability. You know what's going to happen? You're going to start walking in freedom. And you will walk and become the man of God that you were always intended to be. You'll lay aside the weights and sins that so easily beset you, and you've kept your eyes focused on Jesus. It's a wonderful feeling. This is Robert Dean Steele. This is Pastor to Pastor. You have yourself a godly day.